After Friday, February 3rd, AM weather will no longer be seen. The producers of the program have decided to cancel the program, and therefore it will not be available to Nebraska ETV.
AM weather is made possible by grants from the Federal Aviation Administration. Phillips 66 Aviation Performance Centers, providing pilots with guaranteed pre-blended jet fuel at 90 locations across America. The Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association and the AOPA Air Safety Foundation, promoting safety through continuing pilot education. And the Gorman-Rupp Company, pumps for construction, agriculture, and industry. Computer weather graphics provided by WSI, provider of real-time information services and innovative products for the analysis and forecasting of weather information.
Good Friday morning, everybody. Welcome to AM Weather. I'm Carl Weiss.
And I'm Joan Von Ahn. Well, record high temperatures for part of the west, but a major winter storm for the east is shaping up across the plain states. Let's find out why. We'll take a look at the jet stream, see how it'll be affecting our weather across the country. Jet far north of the border, out in the western part of the country, responsible for pretty dry, warm weather in the southwest. But here comes some Arctic air pushing into the central part of the country, and this jet will add fuel to that developing storm for the east over the weekend. Picture into motion shows a series of weather systems being funneled into western Canada on top of that ridge of high pressure. This pattern may break down by the end of the weekend, bringing wet weather back to the west. The eastern view shows that we had some strong northwesterly downslope winds across the Rockies and into the high plains. Winds yesterday gusted to as high as 73 miles per hour up at Laramie, Wyoming. Cheyenne reported wind gusts to 64 miles per hour. Colorado gusts to 54 miles per hour at Colorado Springs, and 72 mile per hour wind gusts at Fritz Peak. Some of these strong winds also occurred across parts of Kansas, and gusts as high as 61 miles per hour at Goodland, and Oberlin reported gusts as high as 66 miles per hour. There's the developing storm system located in the plain states. It's already bringing some precipitation. This will move eastward and intensify during the next day. A western view of the country shows a ridge of high pressure funneling those weather systems north of the border. A little bit of clouds and some light precipitation, although not much in the way of any accumulation or significant amounts through the northwest. Record highs, though, were set yesterday. 89 at Santa Maria, got up to 94 at Los Angeles, 58 at Salt Lake City, Utah. St. George checked in with 73, and 77 tied a record at Las Vegas. Now, the National Radar Summary for the morning hours shows a little bit of light precipitation through parts of the northwest. It is raining at Quileute, Washington. Then some spotty areas of precipitation across the plains and into the upper Midwest. It is snowing at International Falls, and a mix of some snow and freezing drizzle around Duluth. And then we find some heavy snow at the Iowa-Missouri border, and a band of precipitation is beginning to take shape and spread eastward toward the Ohio Valley, and also some precipitation across Oklahoma, mainly in the form of some rain showers, tops there to 29,000 feet. We'll move on now to this morning's current weather map, and we find high pressure located in eastern Canada, a little bit of light snow activity that we did not see on radar across New England and into the Canadian Maritimes. Fog is the main problem along the Gulf Coast and into the southeast this morning. Visibility down to a quarter of a mile at both Beaumont and Houston, Texas. New Orleans checking in with 1/2 mile, 3/4 mile visibility down in Fort Myers, Florida, and 1/8 mile in fog at Bristol, Tennessee. The gusty winds across the plains and into the Mississippi Valley this morning. Winds earlier 46 miles per hour at Harrison, Arkansas, 40 mile per hour wind gusts last hour at Aberdeen, South Dakota, 37 mile per hour winds at Minot Air Force Base, and 33 mile per hour wind gusts at Devil's Lake. Now in the northwest, we do find some light snow here and there across parts of Montana and into north central Wyoming. Visibility is down to a quarter of a mile at Cut Bank, Montana. And then out in the west, the main problem this morning is some fog all the way from Washington down into the valleys of California, a little fog and haze in southern California. Visibility down to 3/4 of a mile at Eugene, Oregon. Now the temperature extremes around the nation at 6 a.m. Eastern Time ranged from 9 degrees below zero at Holton, Maine to 64 degrees down at Victoria, Texas. Carl?
Our last look at the weekend weather map's coming right up, and we'll start things off with the map for later in the day on Friday. Now, that area of low pressure will be moving through the Tennessee Valley. It should be located over Tennessee by nightfall, already bringing moderate snows through parts of the lower Ohio Valley and some lighter precipitation approaching the Chesapeake Bay. Rain and rain showers from North Carolina southward to the Florida Panhandle. The reinforcing shot of cold air moving across the Great Lakes and northern plain states will bring with it more snow from Lake Superior southward into eastern Iowa. Another frontal zone moving across the northwest and into the northern Rockies will bring snows only to the higher elevations and rain showers, some light sprinkles for much of Washington. By late on Saturday, now a warm front will be moving across the high plains and just enough moisture to bring a little bit of light snow from eastern Kansas northward to the prairies of central Canada. A low-pressure system will be getting organized. Strong and gusty winds as it's centered over New Jersey. Moderate snow spreading into interior sections of New England, and strong northwesterly winds keep kicking up snow squalls across the snow belts of the Great Lakes. Most of the precipitation in the form of heavy showers and thunderstorms should be well off the Atlantic seaboard. Dry weather under high pressure for the far west. Next frontal system already showing an increase in clouds to the Washington coast. By late on Sunday, that front just onshore with some widely scattered rain showers from northern California and points northward along the coast. Enough cold air to bring snows to the northern Rockies and into western Montana. Warm front moving slowly across the plain states. A little bit of light snow falling over western Ontario and northward to western Hudson Bay. A weak area of low pressure will be centered over the lower Mississippi Valley with some hit-or-miss showers and thunderstorms. A big low-pressure system over the maritime provinces, heavy snows, strong gusty winds swirling about the low-pressure system center, and still some snow squalls to the snow belts to the lee of Lakes Erie and Ontario. And by late on Monday, the low-pressure system will be located over Cabot Strait. Some backlash snows continuing for interior northern New England and through the snow belts of the eastern Great Lakes. High pressure settling into the southeastern part of the United States, but a weak area of low pressure over southern Georgia with widely scattered showers and thunderstorms southward into central Florida. Dry weather elsewhere across the nation. This front slowing down through the far west. Once again, rain and rain showers along the coast from the Bay Area northward. Snow only over the far northern